We had an opportunity on T4 to promote Tiger Woods golf. It's never happened to me before and it's never happened since. We all knew Tiger had arrived without actually seeing Tiger arrive. The door opens and Tiger sat there, he's like, I think what we've got to remember as punters, as golf fans, is it's their job. They do it for a lot of money. Punchy 8-iron, draw it in from the outside. That's all over it. Everyone aims for perfection, but perfection in golf doesn't exist. It's as simple as that. It really doesn't.
Look at that. It just needed, what's that, 12 inches?
Yeah.
A foot?
Amazing. Amazing.
Vernon Kay, one of the UK's most loved broadcasters, from T4 to Children in Need to Family Fortunes, and now the iconic morning show on BBC Radio 2, where more than 6 million people listen to you every single day. So, Vernon, let's start, before we get onto the golf and the, all that kind of fun stuff, let's start with the start. So, career-wise, obviously, we know you for being on telly for more than a couple of decades now. How did that all begin?
It's a long story which I'll cut short. So basically, throughout my teen years, I was one of those kids that just lived for the weekend. I loved going out, loved socialising, loved people, loved my mates, loved that kind of collective gathering and having a good time. And I was working literally for the weekend. I was running loads of different jobs, doing all kinds of different things, and I was getting enough money to enjoy myself at the weekend because I was never really career minded. I always had this feeling since high school that something will happen. Something, I wouldn't be lorry driving like my dad always asked me to do, or I wouldn't be sat in an office. I knew that wasn't me. I just knew that my time at school, you know, those careers classes and all that, I was like, this is a complete waste of time because something, I don't know what it is going to happen. And then skip forward to December 96. So we went to Close Shore Live, had a couple of pints, we just sat milling around. And then this guy came over, a guy called James Knoll from Select Model Management in London, and he asked me if I'd ever considered modelling. I was like, no mate, that is absolutely not on my periscope whatsoever. But I just thought, could be a way out, you know, could be a way out of grafting, see what goes. So I did whatever they asked me to do. So I moved down to London literally 2 weeks later, and then from the start of 97, I'd left home and I was living down south. And then because of the docu-soap that went out on ITV, a couple of people said, oh, well, do you fancy doing some Vox Pop for us and this, that and the other? And that's how it all kind of escalated and snowballed. And then I did children's BBC, I did T4, and then, you know, as you progress and get a bit of experience, I ended up doing an ITV Saturday night show. So it's all kind of because of the Close Shore Live that I'm forever grateful for the start of my career.
So the other thing, I'd like to get you to give a really quick rundown of your employment history before that moment, because it's pretty wide.
Oh, before that I'd done everything. I didn't care what I was doing, and that's why I think my kids in particular have got a good work ethic, because I've always said no one should ever give anyone any grief if they're working. Like, people say, oh, I'm a solicitor, and they look down on people who are cleaners. Like, that should never, ever, ever be the case. I've been a cleaner. I did it for many years. I was a mobile caretaker for Bolton Council, and it's probably the hardest job I've ever done, manual labour-wise. I used to cut fence panels for my cousin, clean phone boxes, worked in Tesco's, stuck stickers, worked in a banana ripening factory, done all sorts, loads of kinds of manual labour. But I enjoyed reaping the benefits of hard work. I love payday. Payday is the best day. It really is.
And a lot of that, we've been doing a lot of research before this, and you talk a lot about your dad and being a truck driver and grafting. Do you think that's a lot of where your attitude comes from as well? And obviously your mum too.
Well, no, it comes from my mum really, because I talk about my dad a lot, and my dad's like, yeah, but my dad was never at home because he was always working. You know, he was always down the road. He was either doing nights, as in 2-day trips. He'd go down to London, stay overnight and come back, or he'd go off to Italy for a week and then come back. So my mum's the one that put in all the hard work, bringing up me and my brother, and she did a great job. And that was her purpose in life. I guess she had loads of part-time jobs as well, but I think my mum is the one that instilled that work ethic in us, because she knew that she was on her own. At 14, I was off sticking stickers in bananas so remember the 6 weeks holidays at school? At 14, from 14 onwards, my 6 weeks holidays were working in a banana ripening factory, all the way through to 1920 I did it. So I loved it. I loved it.
So normally this bit of the discussion is when we normally have a sort of an object or two to talk about. You've gone one better, and we've got a clip.
Yeah.
Well, you talk to me about this clip.
This is I played American football for the London Warriors for 4 years. So I played American football in Manchester for the Manchester All-Stars for their youth team from 13. I played youth American football from 13 to 19 for 3 different teams. The Fylde Falcons in Blackpool, Manchester Spartans and the Manchester All-Stars, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I loved that team camaraderie. And then ITV asked myself and some other people if there was anything on our bucket list that we would like to do now, that we're still able to do physically and mentally before we get too old. So it's like a pre-bucket list.
And how old are you at this point?
I was 35, and I said, yeah, I'd love to put my old American football team from 1988 back together. So they're all like, I was the youngest when I joined, I was 13. So I was 35, and the other lads were like 40, 42, 43. And the majority hadn't really done any physical activity since then. So we managed to find all but one, I think, of the 58 lads that we had on this team. It was the research team did a tremendous job. And we put the lads together, and cut a long story short, because of ailments and a couple of broken legs and this, that and the other during practice, we couldn't field a full team. So I think we only had 12 lads. So they replaced the spots with a team called the London Warriors and London Blitz and a few other guys from other teams. And we built this squad, and I absolutely loved it. I thought, this is what's missing. This is a jigsaw puzzle that I didn't think I needed. And then when we finished, I got an interception in the game for the television show, made a couple of great tackles. And the head coach said, look, if you want to carry on, why don't you just come down to practice? You don't have to play, just come down to practice and keep your toe in. So I was like, yeah, I will. And then I've got quite an addictive personality. I'm a bit OCD, a bit obsessive compulsive. And once I start something, I have to be able to do it to the best of my ability. I'm not going to break any world records. I'm not going to go and play in the NFL. But as long as I step on that field knowing that I am the best of me, that was the best bit about it. So I did it for 4 years. I won 2 national championships and lost 2 national championships. And then I'm on the board for the London Warriors because we're a charity helping kids find their way via sport. But the clip I'm going to show you, that's what we're getting at, is me making an interception against the London Blitz, our crosstown rivals. And these games were brilliant because it was no holds barred, like real physical helmet-to-helmet contact. And this catch that I make is the one where I crack my coccyx at the base of your spine, and it hurts. And if we can attack people, if we can run it in slow motion when I land, I get a massive concussion because my head slams back. But because you're so high, you know, I used to drink like literally 2 pints of pre-workout. So I was jacked when I played American football. I was absolutely amped. So all the game, I'm like tingling and ready to go.
So you make the leap, you make the catch.
Land on my back, smack my head down, and then we carry on. And I think we won. We very rarely beat the Blitz in the early days, but then we absolutely tsunami'd them.
So you've actually then played on with a broken coccyx, probably.
Yeah, I didn't know at the time.
Because concussion and whiplash.
When you break your coccyx, there's no cure for it. And you just got to heal naturally. So you've got to keep upright and all that kind of stuff. But my back, from the top of my knees, up across my quads, around my backside, and up my spine was just black. Like the biggest bruise I've ever seen. It was horrendous. Like we played football all the time, and because I was fortunate, I grew up on the West Pennine Moors. So the housing estate that we grew up on, our back garden was the moors. So we were always playing football, hide and seek, setting fire to things, you know, all that kind of stuff. Nothing major, don't worry. But you know, just being kids, just everyone had a flick knife. Everyone would kind of make arrows out of sticks and twigs and all that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You get a garden cane, you put 2 football cards down the back of it, sharpen the end, wrap a football bootlace around it, and you'd hold it like this and just launch it, and it would go for miles. And you just make fun. You know, we had all these fields to play in, and I never remember a rainy summer. It was always sunny. And like the Wanderers were there. I had a few uncles who loved the Wanderers, but for some reason, that obsession for football never really happened. It was always there because we were always playing it. We were always playing football. But I was never kind of became an obsessive football fan until I saw the American football, which is quite weird, really. I don't know why. But also, what appealed to me was I was playing American football at 13 with lads who were 18 in Manchester. So I got kind of a sense of this is what adult life as a young man is like, because they were all talking about girls and talking about nightclubs and this, that, and the other. And that never really was on my horizon. So I'd be like, oh, they're going out. They're talking about, you know, heavy petting, young ladies.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I felt like I had a one-upmanship on my schoolmates, because on a Saturday I would go and play American football with these 18-year-old lads from Manchester. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was no longer playing
under 14s.
Yeah, I was no longer playing under 16s football on a Saturday morning. I was going playing American football with 18-year-old men. You know what I mean? So I didn't tell anyone at school that I was playing until I was 16, which was quite funny. Oh, go on. That's a certified golf shot, boys.
So tell me about how you even got into golf in the first place.
It's a really easy story. I was working at Radio 1 and DJ Spoony, a mutual friend of Stewart Golf, he was dressed in his golf attire. And I was like, you look very smart. I'll go and play golf. And I said, you go and play golf dressed like that? He's like, yep, it's a gentleman's sport. I'm like, whatever. I'd only played golf, pitch and putt. And I said to him, oh, golf, it's easy. I bet I could outdrive you. He went, no, you can't. I was like, seriously? I bet you I could outdrive you. He went, do you play? I said, no, I've not played for a long time. So cut a long story short, we went out together. I was dreadful, but I loved it. I was hooked. I was in.
Where did he take you?
Here, brought me to Stoke Park, and it swallowed me up straight away, golf. And he said, right, I know a couple of people. Let's get you some clubs. Let's get you some lessons, and away we go. And to be honest with you, I've never looked back. From my first set of TaylorMades and then these Callaways, I've enjoyed my golfing journey, because golf's a sport you can play anywhere in the world, and you can play it on your own. It's not like, you know, you travel. We've got relatives in New Zealand. You go to New Zealand and you want to play football. You've got to round up 10 other guys. That's not the case with golf. You can go and play the most beautiful, stunning golf courses anywhere in the world alone. Because back then when we were traveling a lot with the kids, the girls didn't play. Now they do. Phoebe's into it, which is really nice when we're on holiday. So it's one of those sports where whenever you book anything, whenever you're traveling, you have a scroll on Google Maps or whatever, nearest golf course. And then you're playing your game, you can take your handicap anywhere. Even when you're renting clubs, you're only, I'd say, you're a maximum of 5 shots off your handicap when you're renting. It's just one of those sports that you hit a great shot, you want to hit another great shot. You hit a good shot, you want to hit a great shot. You hit a bad shot, you want to hit a good shot. You know, and it just keeps chipping away at your noggin. Get better, get better, get better. I don't think there's one complacent golfer in the world, anywhere.
That's absolutely true, and I've had that in my experience. So my eldest brother's a complete beginner, and obviously never happy about his standard of golf. I played in a pro-am a couple of years ago with Martin Keimer, former world #1, not happy with the standard of golf. Yeah. It's like at every level, there's always something else.
You can always be better in golf.
Yeah.
Like there's so many different elements of the game that you're not the best at. You know, personally, I'm talking in relative terms. Like Tiger, all these people who go out, they win. They're always changing or manipulating or bettering the swing that they've got. It's scary stuff. It really is, because golf, everyone aims for perfection, but perfection in golf doesn't exist. It's as simple as that. It really doesn't. Because if perfection existed, everyone would play it at least 18 over every round. Yeah. Because you're perfect at the game.
So talking of athletic pursuits, so fast forward a few years, so a couple of years ago, you took on a scarcely believable, I mean certainly for me, 5 marathons in 4 days for children in need. So tell me about, was this your idea? Did somebody come up to you and say, we need somebody to do this, are you up for it? How does that start?
So what happens is, it's usually the Radio 2 newbie that does it. So I did it, and then Paddy did it, and then this year Sarah Cox has done it. but she's not a newbie. They asked me to do it, and they said we wanted to do the Children in Need Challenge. And I was like, yeah. I said, look, I can't do a 24-hour challenge. I said, because I'll just go mad. I said, I don't want to do it indoors. I said, I'll do it, don't want to do it indoors. I said, you keep banging on that Radio 2 is the biggest radio network in the UK. Why don't we go and visit the audience? I said, why don't we just start off somewhere and end up somewhere else? And we'll go and see the audience. And they're like, okay, I like that. And then they said, over what period? I said, let's do it over a week. And then it became 4 days. But they said, I've got to get from Leicester to Bolton by the power of my own feet. When they said that, when they told me what I was doing, I was like, right, I've got to train. So I started training. I started doing a mixture of weights and running. And then the guy who sorts my back out, hi James, he said, don't lift any weights. He said, you'll make your muscles really tight. He said, you need to be as loose as possible. So for 9 weeks, I didn't do any weights. I ran 6 miles every day. So I was doing that and doing that and doing that and doing that. And then Saturday morning, I'd do 13 miles. So by the time I came to doing it, did the first marathon, I was like, it's actually all right, that. You know what I mean? I was stiff, don't get me wrong, I was aching. I nearly collapsed when I had the ice bath on the first day because I was gone. And I got out and I just like literally, they had to catch me, I nearly keeled over. But that whole process of being aware that it's not just the physical, it's the mental. Like not wanting to go for a run, putting on your running shoes and it's chucking it down. You're like, I've got to do it.
So you come to actually do the challenge itself. Obviously, physically, clearly you completed it. How did it sort of emotionally? What was the kind of journey that you went through with that? Because you're seeing people are running with you, aren't they? The time the listeners are coming out.
The exhaustion is the worst bit because you know you're going to hurt. You know your feet are going to hurt. You know your limbs are going to hurt just from the constant pounding of the floor. But it's the exhaustion that gets you. And I didn't put on any weight because I was surprised, but I was just eating all the time. We stopped every 7 miles for about 10, 15 minutes. And I'd just eat as much as I could. Like, it doesn't matter what it was, just get it down you. Absolutely chucking food down. And then I had one breakdown where we'd stayed in various hotels or we'd stay in a place and there'd be a lovely breakfast, big breakfast, like carbing up. We did all carbing up the night before, but we'd go again with like a full English breakfast, I'll be honest with you. Nice cup of tea or a coffee. And then we'd go again. But one morning I said, oh, starving, where's breakfast? And it was one of the early starts. Oh, we haven't got any breakfast today. We're going to give you a grab bag. I'm like, a grab bag? What's in the grab bag? And oh, there it is. It was a croissant.
Is it a box of cornflakes or something?
No, it was a croissant.
Is that it?
I'm like, we're running 17 miles. The first stop is after 8, I think it was this morning. I said, I can't run 8 miles on a croissant. And it was my only Mariah Carey moment. And I'm so embarrassed by it. But it's one of those things where exhaustion just gets you. I started crying. I just like head in my hands. I'm like, I am just absolutely knackered. I'd been dreaming of bird's eye potato waffles. Remember them? Yeah. They're the most processed food on the planet, but I wanted bird's eye potato waffles with 2 undercooked fried eggs, with a massive dollop of beans, bacon, sausage, 2 fried slices, black pepper. I wanted the whole shebang.
This is a pretty vivid dreaming.
Oh, it was amazing, honest. And I woke up like salivating. So I was really excited for breakfast to get there, and it was a croissant. I was like, no. So exhaustion is the thing that you've really got to watch.
And did you have, so listeners were coming and jogging with you for a while?
Yeah, well,
how was that?
Because it was the first time that Radio 2 had done anything where, I mean, the Comic Relief thing, that people had gone out and done stuff, but for Radio 2's Children Need Challenge, it was the first time where we had a convoy. So I found it really difficult talking about it because we didn't stop, but we prevented people from running because of the chaos in the streets. It's great watching people come together. But people came running with us who were poorly. And the one thing that I learned was everyone's sick. Everyone is sick. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, you might be healthy, but you know someone directly in your family or friendship circle who's poorly. And that's the one thing that got me. People would come up and say, oh, this is amazing, it's on my bucket list. I'm like, what do you mean on your bucket list? Oh, I've only got 2 months left. I've got terminal cancer. So It gets me every time.
Immediately I'm like,
Yeah, and you're like, listen, you can slide in, just pull up, come on, let's go for a run. And it happened so many times that I just thought, there's so many good people out there who have been dealt this hand that's really shitty. Do you know what I mean? So you've really got to grasp what you've got. And it absolutely, I can't talk about it without crying about it, because all those people 2 years down the line, they'll be dead. They will no longer with us.
so when somebody says that to you, I don't want to make you cry or anything, but so when that happens, like, what can you possibly say? Like, I've got 2
Well,
weeks
there
or
was
2
another
months to go.
instance where this lad, I think he was a roofer or a chippy, you know, like he's stereotypical 2 belts, big boots, big shoulders. So he's obviously a grafter. And he said, "Hey, Vern," as we were running, mate. And we'd let everyone run on. And I was running with a very dear friend of mine now, a guy called Steve the Bucket. So what happened was, quickly, we were getting handed loads of coins and loads of notes. So we needed a bucket. And I was running with Royal Marines because I wanted to run with the armed forces because they're next level, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Those lads and lasses in the armed forces are different gravy. And in particular, I'm a big fan of the Royal Marines and the Paras. So a couple of Marines run with us and we end up giving one of them, Steve, the bucket. And because he's fit as a fiddle, he's an ultramarathon runner, he's a kite surfer, he's an extreme mountain climber and this, that and the other. He's like, "Steve, the bucket." So he'd be like running across the road and he'd just run off and go and get all the money and this, that and the other. And me and Steve were at the back one day and this lad pulled me over. He says, "Hey, Vern, I need a favour." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." So we stopped when we talked to him and his mate. He's like, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm knackered, mate, absolutely knackered." "Don't worry about it." He said, "Sounds great. Can you do a video for my sister?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I will." He said, "You've done one before. You were hosting an event and you did a video for her." I'm like, "Okay, great." He's like, "What's her name?" "Oh, her name's, let's say it's Julie. I can't remember what it was. It began with J." And I'm like, "Yep, great, give it a." He went, "Oh, just to let you know, she's only got 4 weeks left. She's got terminal cancer." And I'm like, "What do you say? What do you say?" "Hiya, Julie, you all right?" "Is she fuck all right?" "No, she's got 4 weeks left." So then I'm like, "Mate, give me a minute," because I was exhausted. And when you're exhausted, everything's times 1,000. So I go again. Steve the Bucket's crying his eyes out. He runs off. I'm like, "Mate, why are you running off? Like, I need some help." So all 4 of us, this lad, his chippy mate, work colleague, me and Steve the Bucket, striking our eyes out. And I'm like, right, what do you say? What do you say to someone who's got 4 weeks left? If you can find words for someone who's got 4 weeks left on God's planet that don't say, "Are you okay?" You're going to be, because your initial reaction as a human is, "Oh, you'll be all right." But you're not, because you've been told by the very best that, unfortunately, cancer, the bastard, has got a grip of you and you've got 4 weeks left. And I just remember being so generic. I can't remember what I said, but I didn't put a time frame on anything. I basically talked about her brother. He was like crying his eyes out. And I was crying my eyes out. And when I gave him the phone, we did the big man hug thing. And thankfully, we were just walking up to a cafe, sat down, and I just broke down. I was like, "I can't do this anymore. This is just mental." It was insane.
So, I mean, once all the dust settles and obviously you got your energy back and your the sort of the weeks go past, obviously this is 2 or 3 years ago, so it's still
Yeah.
you know, how do you reflect on that for your own, sort of in your own life personally?
It's you can be very flippant and you can say you've got to live every day as if it's your last. But you're not, because it's not. You know, you're not like that young girl. You're not like the lady and the bloke who came running with me who had months left. That's not your scenario. But what you've got to do is take a little bit of that and every now and again, just look at what you've got. Because we always think that the person next to us is doing better than us. And there was a clip from a good friend of mine, Jimmy Carr, great bloke. And he's a very, 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 very intelligent fella. There's a YouTube clip that Jimmy did on a podcast where he says, we are in the top
percentile in terms of the luck that we have had.
And the quote that always gets me that Jimmy quotes is, "We only had hot water 60 years ago, so we're extremely lucky." with what we've got compared to those that have gone before us. You've got to put your blinkers on and you've got to focus on yourself. It sounds really selfish, but your four walls, I mean, your family, if you've got kids, your partner, your parents in particular, your castle, you've got to be the king of that castle or queen of that castle.
So you just mentioned there about cherishing every moment. So from a golfer's point of view, it looks like you've had sort of time upon time where you've had these sort of, well, for me, would be a real pinch me moment of I'm playing with this person or on this course or in this event. So it wasn't that long ago. There's the BMW Pro-Am. Give me some of your memories from
the best one ever was when I started playing golf, and I was still doing T4, and it was the year where the Ryder Cup was at the Kay Club in Ireland, and the following week it was the Amex at the Grove, and we had an opportunity on T4 to promote Tiger Woods golf. Remember EA Sports Tiger Woods? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. We've got to do it. So EA Sports paid for Leicester Square to be made up of all these little plastic artificial greens. And Tiger was going to come and do some putting with me, Spoonie, Ian Wright and Geordie Kidd. Great. So we're there, we're doing rehearsal and it's all set up. And then it's never happened to me before and it's never happened since. We all knew Tiger had arrived without actually seeing Tiger arrive. We all just went, he's here. I'm like, yeah, he's here. He's here. And then it's like, right, Tiger's arrived. I'm like, for some bizarre reason, we knew. Like, the guy has an aura. And he's like, who's the host? Who's the host? And I'm like, oh, that's me. Like, can we just have a quick word? So the producer comes over from T4. I'm with the producer, and then a representative from the PR company from EA Sports, and then a Tiger representative. Just, can we have a chat? I'm like, yeah, so we go in the tent. It's like, listen, Tiger's really hungover. I'm like, okay, will you have a word with him? Because he just wants to feel comfortable in your company. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. So walk towards this transit van, this like beautiful Mercedes van. The door opens and Tiger's sat there. He's like, hey. I'm like, I'm Vernon, I'm the host. Oh, thank God, man. He said, I'm really hungover. I'm like, well, obviously, because you just lost the Ryder Cup. I think they lost. Let's fact check that. I think they lost. I think it was a K. I think
it was the Darren Clark one, wasn't it?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They did.
So they just lost the Ryder Cup. And then when the two teams get together, they have a bit of a ding-dong, like they have a couple of beers of Guinness at the time. I'm like, listen, he's like, please look after me. Just look after me. I said, Tiger, it's really simple. The questions are dead simple. The people we've got are great personalities. We've got a guy called DJ Spoonie, former Arsenal player, Ian Wright, and we've got Geordie Kidd, supermodel. All right, great, perfect. So he comes up, we have the best time. Righty, Spoonie, Geordie, we're literally fawning all over him. We're having the best time. He's on the coffee and the Red Bull and he's trying to get amped for it. He's got a tournament that week, which is hilarious. So I obviously knew that we were doing this. So I got a flag from, I think it was Royal Liverpool, where he'd won the Open previously, prior to in that year. So I got him to sign that. I got him to sign a programme from that. He signed it, and he signed it to Vernon. Your best friend, thank you for everything, Tiger Woods. I'm like, yeah, I love that. And that's in a frame, it's lovely. And then that week we went to watch at the Grove and we walked with him, and he invited me and my wife to go behind the rope and walk with him. And everyone's like, what's going on here? So strange. So as a thank you from him to me, he allowed us, this is not the practice day, this is during the tournament, to walk with him on the Thursday. So we walked down the bottom and then we went up to the 9th with him. And then at the 9th, Spoonie was there, and Ian and Geordie, and he was like, yay, great. And then he carried on and he went and won the darn thing. But it was just, when you meet people like that who A, remember your name, and B, are grateful for you helping them out, it means a lot. That's my golfing highlight. And it was so early in my love and obsession for golf. I think I kind of peaked early.
Is that the tournament where there's the plaque in the middle of the fairway?
Yeah, I think he had eagles on each day. 4 days, 4 eagles on a par 5, which is pretty special. Pretty special. It's a long haul as well.
That's brilliant. I mean, that would have been a great story even without he's hanging in the back of a truck.
Yeah, that was funny, but he was really nice. And if I've thrown him under a bus for being hungover, I apologise, Tiger. I think what we've got to remember as punters, as golf fans, is it's their job. You know, we do it for shits and giggles. They do it for a lot of money. And because they've got a lot of money, they have a lot of expenditure. And because they've got a lot of expenditure, it goes full circle. They've got to earn a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? I don't know one golfer who lives in a terrace. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've got lovely houses which probably have underfloor heating. Maybe a conservatory like this that needs heating. So it kind of vicious circle, and it's tough. It's really tough to be a professional sportsman and keep that success going.
So when you've also played, I mean, obviously with Tiger, multiple Masters champion. I've seen you with Rory. Now, obviously,
Rory was lovely.
Green jacket. What was he like to play with?
Lovely. Rory, I can't say enough about Rory because I first met him again when I first started golf at the British Masters at the Belfry, and I was doing T4, and he had his curly locks outside of his hat, and we were chatting for quite a while, and I met his mum there, Rosie, and his dad was there as well, and we just got on like house on fire because he was watching T4. And then I've seen him a few times since, and it's always like you meet him for the first time, everything's still fresh, and he's a professional now. You know what I mean? He's a brand within himself, and I think Rory carries himself very, very well. Very well.
And so when you're playing in these programs, so like say you were at the BMW this year, clearly you're used to being doing live broadcasts. So there's a pressure that comes with that of getting things right. Because you're no sort of slouch when it comes to being a golfer, single finger handicap. Do you feel any kind of nerves when you're stood on the sort of the first tee at Wentworth with how many thousands of people?
Yeah, that's why you don't want to start at the first. You want to start kind of halfway through. They seem to, the last 2 times I've played, they put us on the 6th, which is perfect.
So just describe for anybody that's not had the pleasure.
Right,
Why you don't on the first?
You don't want to start on the first because that's where the crowd is and the anticipation of you ripping it down the first. It's a big, long, I think it's a par 5 for us, it's a par 4 for the pros. And the majority of people drive just to the top of the hill because it goes down into a valley and then up to the green. I think Rory always ripped his and it goes down and it just kind of, so he's got a massive, big uphill shot. So we're sat on the top of the brow, but there's the worst thing about it, and I've become foul of this, is the putting green is on the left-hand side. And one year, I topped this driver, but I topped it and absolutely hooked it, like literally, and it went straight above the heads of the pros that were putting, and it was so embarrassing. And that's the worst tee shot. The rest of them are fine because there's not many people on. There are people now, it's got more and more busy. But yeah, the first, you want to be warmed up for that first hole tee shot because you get the big, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto the tee. You know, all that kind of razzmatazz and glitz and glamour and all that kind of stuff. So you want to be able to rip it and pipe it down the fairway.
So, I mean, part of that, do you feel that, or do you find that because of your profile, and obviously you're physically you're going to stand out, you're 6'4"?
4, yeah.
Do you find that because there's kind of an expectation or there's a little bit of a target on your back when you're playing these things for stuff like that?
No, I think if you face it up, if you're front facing, it's a lot of fun. Like they usually put myself, Dan Walker and Anton de Beek together and we have a really good time. It's a lot of fun. You got Anton doing the waltz or the salsa or the tango across the greens. Dan absolutely rips his driver, like he can pump it out there. So we have the opportunity to play really well and score some good points, but we never do because we get caught up in the event, in the moment, you know. So kind of for the first maybe 5 or 6 holes, we're focused, and then, you know, we're just kind of larking about. It's good fun.
So you talk about Anton and Dan Walker, both obviously Stewart Golf customers as well. What are the sort of high-profile people that you play with that impress you with their?
Oh, loads. Who else have I played with? Jem Redknapp's a great golfer. He's a good guy. DJ Spoonie, another Stewart Golf customer. Who else have I played with? Like loads of people. I played with Jamie and Spoonie with Colin Montgomery once, and he shanked one, and we all laughed. And you know, Colin being Colin was kind of very assertive. Gentlemen, I think you find that's very disrespectful. This is how I make a living. And we're like, yeah, but You just sucked one right out the hosel. He wasn't impressed that we were giggling. Yeah. Graham McDowell's good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Graham. We got told off because when I played with Graham at Wentworth, we slipped off on the 17th. There's that little aside area, and there was a Guinness tent. So we let a couple of groups past whilst we had a couple of pints of Guinness, which was lovely.
So the other person I wanted to ask about, did you ever get to play golf with Bruce Forsyth?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to play with Sir Bruce Forsyth at Wentworth, and I played with Anton Deck because they wanted to play a round of golf with him, and I've been fortunate enough to play a few times with him. Anton was literally towards the end of Bruce's life. Anton was Bruce's golf partner. They played a lot of golf together because Anton's a member at Wentworth. And I remember we were playing, and Sir Bruce, he hit every fairway. Didn't hit it a mile, he hit every fairway. And one hole, I can't remember which one it was, but Ant got a birdie. And on the tee box, because Ant went first on the next hole, Bruce said, "Oh, let's just hope you don't have a FUAB, my love." And we're like, "What's a FUAB? A FUAB? Oh, I'll tell you later." So we go up, and lo and behold, we all get bogeys, apart from Sir Bruce, who gets a par. And he's like, "I told you, always fear the FUAB." And we're like, "What's a FUAB?" "It's a fuck up after a birdie." So ever since then, every time I get a birdie, I just hear Sir Bruce from the heavens saying, "Don't get a FUAB, don't get a FUAB, fuck up after birdie." Yeah, really funny.
I like FUAB.
We were all crying with laughter after that. And then Bruce, his hospitality was something else. We'd all go back to his house, we'd have something to eat, he'd tell some stories, and we were just made up. He was such a lovely guy, obsessed by golf.
So he was on the Wentworth estate as well, wasn't
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Well, I mean, so one of the other things that you sort of alluded to it then is just the reasons why golf is such a great sport like that, because you can play it with sort of multi-generational, you're playing with your friends and professionals alike. From a mental health point of view, is that part of its charm for you to play golf?
Where we live, when we moved in, there was a former RAF Spitfire pilot called Roy, and he used to live at the end of our lane. And at 5 o'clock every day, Monday to Friday, he'd walk past our gates, 5 o'clock, bang on. So he'd set off at about 5 to 5. 5 o'clock he'd walk past. Vernon, Roy. You know, the guys flew Spitfires in World War II. I mean, absolute legend. "Oh, yeah, very good. Thank you, Roy. How are you?" "Just off on my constitutional." So he'd go off at 5 o'clock and just have a walk to collect his thoughts. I thought that was wonderful at his age, knowing that he just needed a walk to clear his mind and just walk down to the farm and then come back. My constitution is I go down to the same farm, because obviously we're on the same lane, but I take a 7-iron or a pitching wedge or a driver, and I'll only be out there for 20 minutes. I take 3 balls, numbered 1 to 3, so when I find them I know which shot it was, and I'll try and hit a draw with a 7-iron or a 6-iron or a 4-iron, whichever club I've got. I'll try and hit the low stinger. So I only play one club, one shot. Like, even if it's bad, I won't change shot. I won't go back and get a different club. I will try and perfect that low stinger with the 4-iron, which we saw today, by the way. Or, a big lofted 7-iron that's just going to land softly. I'll have a look at a couple of YouTube videos. And what's bizarre, what I find really weird, is I can hit a fade without trying to hit a fade. I can't hit a fade on purpose. And I don't know why that is.
I mean, that's part of golf though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the science of it, whenever I try and hit a fade, I hit it straight left. It goes straight left, because I'm trying to cut across it. But I must have the club face closed or something, and it just goes straight left. So I try and do everything to kind of get it to do the fade, but it never happens. I can draw it, I know how to do that, but fade, terrible.
So the last thing that I've almost forgotten to even think about, I've enjoying the chat so much. So today we're giving you your brand new Q Follow
Yes.
1 of 1. And so I asked you, actually I thought you were going to ask for an American football team, an American football team.
Yeah.
And you said, no, it's got to be the Warriors to put on there. So first of all, I hope you like the trolley.
Love it. Yeah, love it. I think, well, I wanted the Warriors because it would be very easy to have Bolton Wanderers on there because that's my football club, and I love what the new ownership team have done for the club and got it back into the community in Bolton. But the Warriors holds a special place for me because I do think at 35 it changed my life. It changed my outlook on life, and it changed the way I was as a person because, you know, my teammates, it was a mixed multicultural backgrounds within the team, lads from all races, everyone was included, really inclusive. And I'm really proud of what the Warriors do. You know, there's no boundaries at the Warriors. Just come, be physical within the whistles, know your job, and then leave, but come back to practice with the right attitude. And I think any young man or woman who wants to learn how to do that, go and play a sport, not just American football, but if you want to better yourself, be disciplined within a sport. Because A, your mental health's getting better, B, your physical health is definitely getting better, and C, you know where you've got to be at a specific time. So if you're in a badminton club, squash club, if you play golf, play American football, football on a Sunday, you know where you've got to be. So that if you're any way inclined, obsessed like I was, you know, and I know a lot of people don't, but I never do an activity with a hangover. I think it's a waste of a round of golf. I don't understand why fellas, as soon as they arrive at the golf club, smash 2 pints. Golf, for me, is 4 hours that I want to attack to the best of my ability. I don't understand the psyche of, I'm playing golf, I'm going to have 5-6 beers whilst I'm going round.
The trolley itself, so this is actually the 20th year since you got your first trolley, all those many years ago. So actually, tell me if this is true or not. So I remember the conversation that I had, I think either with your agent or your management company at the time, when, as you found out earlier on, that you'd only just started golf, and they phoned us up or sent me an email or something, saying, right, well, it's Christmas, and we always get our our talent a Christmas present, and did you want like some fancy jewellery or something like that? And what I got told is that you said, I want a Stewart Golf X1R like Spoonies. Is that true?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, because he had the Liverpool one, didn't he? Yes. One of his first ones. It was beautiful. It was absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, and also that's a test as to how much your agent loves you and how much they've got invested in you.
You obviously had a good year that
year. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that was pretty special. And it's always nice because I think if you invest in yourself, the rewards are dead simple. And it's that old adage of look good, feel good, play good. You know, all the lads at the Warriors, they looked fantastic because it was look good, feel good, play good. And if you abide by that, it's if you look in the mirror, you think, oh my God, they are getting it today. Look at this. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you look good, therefore you feel good, therefore you play good. Simple as that.
So when, obviously you've now been, I don't know how many of our trolleys you've had over the last 20 years, probably half a dozen or something like that?
4, I think.
Only 4?
4, yeah. I had a white one, a silver one, the one before this and this, I've had 4.
Only 4?
Yeah.
So I guess there's a couple of questions in there. One is sort of how have you seen them sort of evolve in the time that you've had them? But then also, actually, why do you use our trolleys at all? Like what benefit is there when you're playing golf?
The simple answer to that about Stewart Golf trolleys is reliability, durability, having the confidence that your battery's not going to run out. And if it does run out, you guys have invented the detachable wheels that stay on, which allow the motor to run freely. And it's only ever happened once, because it's my fault, I didn't charge it up. But I just think that you don't want to think about anything. You don't want to think about your golf grips when you're playing. You don't want to think about X, Y, or Z. I don't want to worry about my golf trolley. And just having that ability to get it out the boot, unfold it, put the bag on, right, that is not going to give me any grief. The only thing that's going to give me grief today is the wind that's strong from the left and probably the fact that I can't fade a golf ball. That's it.
And so today, like when we went out there, obviously I didn't have to tell you anything about the product. You were just straight away off you went and started using it. For people that are seeing this, that maybe they haven't got one of our trolleys, and look at it and go, what do you need to follow trolley for?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, and it's really easy. Your point of entry golf trolley is either a push trolley or a basic battery powered trolley with the dial on the front now. Those are the ones that people are renting out. That does my head right in, because from 1 to 6, there's no perfect speed, because they don't go 4.5, 5.5 or 6.5. Like, so you either have it really quick or really slow, which does my nut. With the follow, it follows you at whatever speed you go in. And with the remote, you can just tap it up and down and it'll go as far away from you as you want or as close as you want. There's no manual manipulation of the handle, but you can do that, because I sometimes put the remote on the little slot on the handle and do it that way. Or I just let it go, stop it and walk up to it. Let it go, stop it, walk up to it. I think with the Stewart Golf trolley, and I know that there are other remote control trolleys available, it's just the sturdy durability of it that enables you to forget it.
Yeah, from a product design point of view, even when we launched Follow, it was industry standard, like nobody else was doing that, but they're still going, yeah, but we can make it smoother, we can always do something better with it. So
innovation.
Yeah.
Innovation. If you're gonna come out with a world-class product, you've got to keep innovating. You've got to keep reinventing yourself and come up with something that people can attach themselves to. Because what I found is golfers want and love to have the next best thing. Like, they're so fickle, including me. You know, we like to try something. I've got a golf bag full of gimmicks that apparently, according to Instagram, are going to make me swing it like Tiger Woods or Robert Rock or whoever it is. And I'm a sucker for, oh, I'll try that. And basically, just put a belt around your arms and strap it around your chest and then you're rocking, do you know what I mean? There's loads of stuff. This, all kinds of sticks, this, that and the other. Go and get golf lessons.
Get golf lessons.
Keep your local pro employed.
So the quest for perfection will never end, I think.
Never end for any golfer.
For either of us.
It won't.
So Vernon, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this.
Cheers, pal.
It's
Thank you very much.
been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a joy.
Really, really appreciate your time. Thank you.